okay. It should be good. It should be good, but it doesn't necessarily work because why? The internal world is different. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we have this tendency in our world to follow the marketing cues. We go for what is being marketed to us, and if it's presented as a cure or a remedy of some sort, we will jump on it. And it completely depersonalizes. It's a dichotomy because the movement is towards more personalized wellness, and yet the marketing that's being presented is almost unifying this and going, well, if it's good for you, it's good for them. This is good for this reason, and they're doing it whether it's natural or conventional. And the fact is that there is no one remedy that serves as a cure for any health condition. Because although somebody may have a similar diagnosis, maybe it's blood pressure, high blood pressure, maybe it's diabetes, maybe it's indigestion, maybe it's asthma. We have these generalized classifications that all of a sudden kind of lumps everybody into a group, and now this collection of remedy, curative action is called for. Well, not necessarily. One of the ones that comes to mind right now is carpal tunnel. I've been working myself. I don't have it myself. I was helping somebody with carpal tunnel, and but the issues around why they had carpal tunnel are different than why somebody else. This particular individual is not repetitive movement. This is actually due to is linked to the arthritis. So just because somebody has a diagnosis of carpal tunnel syndrome does not mean that it's all the same. It doesn't warrant the same sort of remedy. And so that's why I say the curative actions that we're taking, while they may be aligned with our inner world at the moment, they're not in line with what the body actually needs. And I don't know if that makes any sense. We are, our inner world is regulated by our thoughts and our emotions. And this is the reason why I talk of stability. These thoughts and these emotions keep us, they limit us. They limit the potential for healing, because the universal healing actually takes place when there is stability in the system. The stability outside of us, what if I told you that was actually a reflection of what's inside of us? Because ultimately what we're doing, in my show earlier this morning, I talked about that when we are being abrasive and harsh towards somebody else, sometimes we're reflecting it because it might be coming at us first. Other times we're projecting it, and more often than not, it is all about, it is in some respects all reflection, because you see we're all mirrors of one another. And if there's a abrasiveness coming at you, then there's some of that you're harboring within you, because in many regards, the way I see it, we almost inspire the difficulties, not because we want to suffer. I believe we really do it because our soul really wants to heal. It wants to help us to heal. It wants to defragment us. And therefore we end up finding ourselves in these unstable relationships, because basically it's just a reflection of the instability within us. And that's why I say, yes, the economy might be rocky. Yes, the political system, there's nothing solid about that. The religious culture, rocky. It's all unstable. And it's all unstable because the people that affiliate with any one of these organizations are also unstable. So the instability that we're seeing in the world is essentially a reflection of the instability in each one of us. Nobody is immune to instability. But if what we're seeking is stability in our life, that's a great sign that your body is craving it. If that's what you feel like, it's all feeling rocky and unstable to me, I want to, this is what I want, then you're going to create the circumstances you're going to generate the circumstances rather to create that experience for yourself within. In any moment, we choose that. Nothing escapes us. We only allow it to escape us. So if stability is something that we're all looking for, then stability is our job. Because the fact is, the more stable the system, the body, the easier it is for it to thrive. Instability is survival mode. It's constantly searching and reaching and readjusting and recalculating and rewiring and deactivating and activating. It's going through all these processes simply because it's in survival mode. If you are above ground and you are either seeing this on YouTube or listening to it on Mixcloud or even listening to it online or on the radio itself, your body is working for you and it is in survival mode. Some of us might be in thriving mode. That's awesome. But the universal remedy is what exists within each one of us, and stability is the key. Because the more we can grasp that stability, and that means being able to rein in your thoughts, pull them in. I've got a number of different projects going on, and I can start to feel very overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is a sign of instability. When we're unstable, then everything feels confusing. We start to lag. Projects take longer, and so on. You know where I'm going with that. So for me, it's to prioritize. Okay, what can I do today? What is the first thing that I need to do? And just rein it in. Because that's where that now I will be stable in my thought process. I won't feel the anxiety. Okay? Because when we're unstable, we will have a boatload of emotions, right? We're just like all over the place. We could be a train wreck of emotions. We could be a volcano of emotions, however you want to describe it. There's a ton of emotion that is building up as a result of the changes that are occurring in the system due to the instability. I don't believe that we need to seek balance. That's a good marketing term right there. Hey, get this product. It'll help balance your system. No, the body's in balance. The body is it's in the, somebody said that to me years ago, and I just thought they were off their nut. It's just like, well, if you have, if you're working 12 hours a day and you're still juggling kids and you got to fix the meals and you got to do the laundry and you feel like your life is still in balance. And like, that doesn't really even sound like balance. But then through my own evolution and research and work and so forth, I began to see that it was an accurate statement, absolutely accurate. And systemically, regardless of the health conditions we are facing, we are in balance. The system is in balance. It just may not be, pardon me, itchy nose. It may not be to the degree that we like, but it is balanced nonetheless, because although maybe say, I'm going to go for the depression, okay? Depression is typically, but not all the time. This is another reason why there are all these cures and remedies that they come up with for depression aren't necessarily the right fit for everybody. Depression could be the result of not enough serotonin, okay? It could actually be directly related to dopamine. It actually might be an anxiety issue, which is, again, is linked to all sorts of different chemicals. There's a number of chemicals that are identified, whether it be the thyroid hormone or it be cortisol or it be GABA or glutamate, or it's just, there's a list of them that are linked to anxiety. Serotonin and dopamine also. So the point is that just because, or if you have a migraine and you have a serotonin spike, just because one chemical is supposedly out of whack, and these are difficult chemicals to test. I know there's a number of urine tests out there that they say they can test them, but this is really intracellular levels that we're talking about, which cannot be detected by any technology that I'm aware of at this point, which means blood tests and urine tests really are out when it comes to this. But the point is if the chemical is, let's just say, elevated, in the case of serotonin, okay, it does not mean the rest of the system is out of balance. What it means is the body had to make the necessary adjustments to accommodate the elevation in the serotonin. Therefore, dopamine is going to do what it's going to do. Acetylcholine is going to do what it's going to do. It's going to make the necessary adjustments. That is how freaking smart the body is. Doesn't need us to sit there and give us and to micromanage it. That is balance. Doesn't necessarily mean it's stability. Clearly, there's instability happening. Otherwise, we wouldn't have these freakish adjustments that are occurring, leaving us feeling unstable. And so one of the things that we have at our disposal is the ability to just collect our thoughts, dismiss the ones that are creating even more anxiety, if the stability is what we seek. Because if we want a stable financial life, if we want a stable relationship, if we want a stable home, the first place it's going to start is with our own thoughts being stable, with us allowing ourselves to feel stability. And guess what? That is the key right there to healing. Whatever it is you're healing, whether it be emotional, physical, doesn't make any difference. Whatever you're trying to heal, because why? All of those chemicals that we're talking about are involved in physical health. And that said, the moment we have the ability to shift gears into stability and allow the body to thrive, your curative actions may and more than likely will change. The remedies that you seek will not be the same ones you were seeking in an unstable mind from the point of instability. So I'm going to start you off. I'm just going to jump into some music. It's a fun set of music today. And what I like to do, as you know, is some of the songs I'll come back and I'll maybe say something that I heard and share it with you. And how it relates to stability and possibly even why I chose the song. So first up I have for you, Joe Walsh, Rocky Mountain Way.